As Jair stood there looking upon the many different arrows, directing anyone that would look upon them to the major cities throughout Skyrim, he soon noticed a figure walk toward him from the corner of his eye. He was a little suspicious of who this figure was, and as soon as they reached within a few metres of Jair, he turned toward them. To his relief though, it was merely a messenger. This was made clear by the large satchel stuffed with letters and such slung over his shoulder. The man greeted Jair and said how he had been given instructions to come to Whiterun and hand this letter to Jair specifically. At this point the messenger held up a piece of paper with Jair's exact description. This caused a chill to run through his spine, which he promptly shook off. But Jair was left with a niggling itch at the back of his head. Who on earth could this person be sending him a letter? He had yet to make any form of ally or friend in Skyrim, and his brief encounters with people were not enough to warrant mail. He thanked the messenger for bringing the letter to him as he took said sealed letter from the man's hands. Filled with curiosity, Jair asked the man who on earth had sent him this letter, and to this question the man simply said, a hooded figure at the dead of night. It was far too dark to be able to figure out their race, let alone who the person actually was. With that the messenger bid Jair farewell. He had many other pieces of mail and such to deliver to others within Whiterun, and soon enough jogged up the cobblestone road to the gates. Jair now stood there alone, once more, glancing down at the sealed letter he held in his hands. The wax seal held an insignia of sorts, a single set of claws outstretched and posed as if ready to strike, and behind them what looked like a feline's sharp eye. To Jair this insignia bared no resemblance to anything he had seen before, but it oddly felt as though he subconsciously knew this insignia, as if it was something passed down in his lineage to never forget. Nevertheless, he opened the letter with a curious and confused mind, and soon began to read the neatly written letter. I see your short time in the land of Skyrim has not gone without its challenges. You have certainly proven yourself in this harsh land, and it seems as though you are well on the way to finding your path in this life. You seem to show no fear in the face of danger or adversity, and you always manage to come out still standing on your own 2 feet, ready to keep going until you find your place in this world. Seeing as how you have taken on a liking for thievery, and from your recent escapades, you certainly have the skill to pull off the thrilling life of a thief. I see no reason why you should not put your skills and talents to the test, and see if the path of the thief is that which you have been searching. Travel to the Rift, and find the city of Riften. I believe there you will find a means to perfect your thieving, and perhaps one of many paths you will travel in this life. Jair was utterly taken back by the fact someone had been watching his every move. His heart beat a little quicker as he tried to assess whether this person was a threat, but confusion continued to rattle his mind, as they had even left him a clue as to where his thieving skills might thrive. For a few minutes he stood there in silence, taking everything in, trying to reach some sort of conclusion as to who this person was, and why they were sending him letters. Eventually he came to the conclusion that it could not have been the Thalmor. They may be cunning and a vicious lot, but they most certainly didn't have the skill to go undetected like this person clearly possessed. If the city of Riften really did present an opportunity to use the skills he had, he would have been a fool to ignore the letter's hint. So without prolonging his proximity to Whiterun, he decided his next plan. He would travel to Riften and seek out what the letter had hinted to. One thing was for certain, Jair's story was far from finished in the land of Skyrim. There was still a dark cloud shrouding his future paths, but he was prepared to traverse the darkness of them to find the light at the end of the tunnel.